Look around you. Truly observe the cluttered desk of your current reality. The sepia-toned struggle where every unfinished course and every bookmarked but unwatched tutorial represents a fragment of a life you're trying to escape. The endless loops of analysis paralysis that lead to a graveyard of half-baked ideas. The crippling weight of indecision that feels like physical lead in your veins. And that shadowy, low-opacity ghost of your past failures hovering directly behind you. Its cold hand resting on your shoulder, physically pulling your hand away from the mouse every time you attempt to click publish or apply, whispering with the collective voice of every person who ever doubted you that this isn't for you, that you're not smart enough, not technical enough, or simply too late to the game. But I am here to tell you that you are making a massive, catastrophic, and potentially career-ending mistake right now, because you are trying to navigate the hyper-accelerated landscape of 2026 using a 2016 roadmap that was designed for a world that no longer exists. You see the success of the digital elite, the glowing cyan future of the operator, but you're stuck on the left side of the split, suffering from an internal identity alarm that sounds like a physical siren in your skull every time you step outside your comfort zone. Yet all of this, the self-sabotage, the panic, the fear of AI, is actually your greatest signal that you are standing at the edge of a breakthrough. Because if I woke up tomorrow with absolutely zero knowledge, no technical background, no followers, and zero network, and I had to build a viable six-figure career from scratch in under 4 months, I would completely ignore everything traditional education or hustle culture tells you to do, and instead I would follow the precise, clinical, zero-start formula that I'm about to outline for you. A strategy engineered to transform you from a struggling, desaturated stickman into an elite Cyan Sentinel focused on the single most lucrative skill of this decade. Building custom, autonomous AI agents for high-value business workflows. The first 30 days, this crucial, high-stakes month one, is not about mastery. It is about shattering the inertial barrier of the old self. Because your primary hurdle isn't the complexity of the code, it's the silence of your own creation. It's the identity alarm screaming that you don't belong in the room with engineers. So you must silence it through the sheer force of aggressive output. You cannot consume your way to competence. You cannot watch your way to wealth. You must build your way there. So in month one, you are going to forget theory entirely and pick one concrete, high-friction, real-world business problem that you can see with your own eyes. Something like automating the lead qualification and follow-up process for a local plumbing or HVAC business, where owners are losing $5,000 a week simply because they can't answer the phone while they're under a sink. You aren't going to spend months learning the syntax of Python. You aren't going to get a degree in machine learning mathematics. You are going to grab a powerful, modern no-code stack, tools like OpenAI's Assistant API, Pinecone for long-term memory, and Make Com for the connective tissue, and you are going to spend exactly 1 hour building a rudimentary V1 chatbot for this plumber. A bot that doesn't just say hello, but actually asks the 3 most important questions needed to quote a job. And the moment that bot answers its first test question correctly, the ghost of self-doubt is forced to retreat because you have generated an empirical, undeniable artifact of value. This is 0 to 1. This is about shifting your internal perception of what you are capable of from student to builder. And in that first month, you focus only on these small, rapid-fire proof of concept wins that signal to your nervous system. This is who I am now. I am the person who solves problems with silicon. Once you have that momentum, you cannot allow it to dissipate into chaos. So months 2 and 3 are where you construct your fortress. The minimalist, high-focus environment of the Sentinel where you gain deep competence by optimizing for speed of relevance over breadth of knowledge. The old model of education was just-in-case learning, where you store information like a hoarder hoping it might be useful in 5 years. But the new, streamlined approach I would use is just-in-time learning, where your curriculum is dictated strictly by the technical roadblocks of your current project. You identify the missing pieces of your plumber bot, Perhaps it needs to remember the caller's name across different sessions or integrate with a proprietary scheduling software. And that is the exact moment you go find a deep dive workshop or documentation on vector databases or OAuth 2 authentication. You learn it in the morning, you implement it in the afternoon, and you test it in the evening. You are not a passive student memorizing facts for a test. You are an active operator building a specialized skill moat that is 300% faster and infinitely more durable than traditional education, because your knowledge is forged in the fire of application. And as you move through month 3, you begin to upgrade your visual and mental workspace, adopting the clinical focus of the operator, treating your time like a tactical resource, removing the clutter of the sepia desk, and replacing it with the sterile, glowing efficiency of a professional who knows exactly what their time is worth. Your eyes begin to glow with the cyan light of purpose because you are no longer guessing. You are executing with a level of precision that makes the identity alarm sound like a distant, irrelevant hum compared to the roaring engine of your own progress. By the beginning of month 4, the transformation is nearly complete. You have foundational competence, a portfolio of 3 distinct, working AI agents, and a level of confidence that borders on the clinical. Now we activate the lever, the specific component of the formula that turns technical competence into the $100,000 payout shown on the monitor of your future self. The old, struggling version of you waits for external validation, a certificate, a boss's approval, a degree. But the Cyan Sentinel creates validation by demonstrating competence through radical visibility. I would take my most advanced AI agent. I would record a high-definition, no-fluff, 90-second screen share video explaining the exact before and after of a business process, showing the sepia struggle of manual data entry versus the Cyan speed of autonomous agents, and I would post that video every single day on LinkedIn, X, and specialized industry forums, targeting the specific niche you've built for. But I wouldn't stop at just posting videos. I would implement a systematic outreach protocol where I reach out to 5 business owners per day, not with a sales pitch, but with a diagnostic offer, where I analyze their current workflow and show them exactly where an AI agent could recapture 20% of their lost revenue. You are no longer the stickman hiding in the shadows. You have been transformed into a sentinel, standing in your fortress, presenting proof of your high-level skill stacked directly to the market. And when a business owner sees that specific automation and realizes it could save them 20 hours of labor a week, you won't be looking for a job. You will be consulting on a solution. And the moment that first high-ticket invoice is paid, that alarm that used to keep you awake at night is permanently silenced, replaced by the humming efficiency of the operator who has successfully crossed the split and claimed their territory in the new world. This is the evolution of the modern professional, a transition from the chaotic, sepia-toned past of hope and pray to the glowing, cyan-edged future of build and dominate, where you realize that the tools of creation are now accessible to anyone with the discipline to stay in their fortress. For 90 days of uninterrupted execution, you must realize that this entire transformation, this zero-start formula, is not a matter of luck or timing. It is a fundamental choice to diverge from the herd and split the mirror of your own identity. You can choose to remain on the left side, in the comfortable decay of the sepia struggle, where the ghost of your former self continues to pull your hand away from greatness, and the identity alarm keeps you paralyzed in a life that is too small for you. Or you can choose the path of the sentinel, the sleek, geometric efficiency of the operator who understands that in the age of AI, the only true security is the ability to build, to adapt, and to execute with clinical precision the success you want, the glowing payout, the freedom from the cluttered desk of your past. It is not waiting for you at the end of a 4-year degree or a magic lottery ticket. It is waiting for you to pick up the tools of the future and execute on a faster, more aggressive map. You must stop asking for permission to be great and start taking ownership of the technical levers that run the world. The bottleneck in your life has never been the technology. The bottleneck has always been your willingness to let the old version of you die so the operator can be born. The version of you that makes excuses, that fears the identity alarm, that listens to the ghost of failure. That version has to go so that the Cyan Sentinel can take its place at the monitor of high-performance results. I have laid out the entire blueprint, the specific 4-month arc from struggle to Sentinel. Shatter inertia with creation, build a fortress of just-in-time competence, and leverage visibility to claim your place in the new economy. The opportunity is massive. The barrier to entry is lower than it has ever been for those willing to work. And the mirror split is happening right now. The crack is widening, and on the other side is a version of you that doesn't just survive the future but defines it. So the only question that remains is, are you going to stay a ghost in your own life, or are you finally ready to become the operator?